Have you ever wondered why those who brag of their intelligence rarely sit on thrones, while those underestimated often end up ruling the clever? The problem we will solve today is this: how can a man of great intelligence survive and triumph in a world that punishes the openly wise? The answer, my friend, is as cruel as it is cunning. You must play the fool. In every court, in every company, and in every kingdom, there is one truth that never dies. The clever man is feared, the fool is ignored. But I tell you this, to be ignored is often safer than to be feared. Today we uncover a strategy so simple, yet so deadly, that it has been used by princes, merchants, and even conquerors to seize power while appearing harmless. Let me tell you a truth that few men dare to speak aloud. Power does not belong to the loudest voice, nor the sharpest mind. It belongs to the one who knows when to hide both. You see, the world is a theater of deception. And in this theater, the greatest actors are not the ones who perform intelligence, but the ones who conceal it. This is the power of underestimation. When you appear less capable than you are, you invite the arrogance of others. And arrogance, my friend, is the sweetest poison a rival can drink. He underestimates you. He lets down his guard. He stops watching you. And in that moment of blindness, you see everything. You observe his weaknesses, his habits, his confidence, while he believes you harmless. There is no greater weapon in a strategist's hand than the enemy's overconfidence. Let us be honest. The clever man, the one who cannot hide his brilliance, often brings ruin upon himself. His words sparkle, his ideas cut like steel, and his presence threatens the balance of fragile egos. Others see his intellect not as a gift, but as a danger. In the court, in the company, in the council, people do not destroy fools. They destroy threats. If you wish to survive among ambitious men, do not appear as one who must be defeated. Even in the time of princes, I observed this truth. Those who boasted of their intellect, those who sought to prove their cleverness before the throne, were often exiled, silenced, or worse, used. The prince loves an advisor who flatters his wisdom, not one who challenges it. So, to be useful in the eyes of power, you must not outshine it. You must become its mirror, not its flame. The moment you seem indispensable, you are dangerous. The moment you seem simple, you are safe. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Why should I lower myself? Why should I pretend to be less? Because survival, dear listener, is the foundation of conquest. The man who cannot endure being underestimated will never live long enough to prove his worth. You are not playing dumb. You are playing strategic ignorance. You are the hunter disguised as prey. And while the world points and laughs, you are sharpening your blade behind the curtain. Think of it. When people believe you slow, they speak more openly. They show you their minds, their plans, their ambitions, believing you incapable of understanding. And in their openness, they expose themselves. They give you the map of their hearts without realizing it. You, meanwhile, listen silently, nodding with the look of confusion they expect, while inside, you are charting every detail of their downfall. The fool who listens learns more than the wise man who interrupts. This is the secret the clever never learn, because cleverness blinds them. The desire to be recognized, to be praised for their brilliance, consumes them. They cannot resist proving themselves, correcting others, showing the world their sharp mind. But every time they do, they reveal their hand. They show where they stand. They make enemies of those who feel inferior. The man who cannot hide his intelligence becomes surrounded by silent knives. Meanwhile, the man who hides his intelligence collects allies in every direction. People trust those they do not fear. They share their secrets with him. They underestimate his reach. They dismiss his silence as ignorance. But silence is not weakness. It is preparation. Every time they overlook you, you gain another inch of advantage. Every time they mock your simplicity, they build your disguise stronger. I tell you this not as a poet, but as a survivor. The court of power is filled with smiling serpents. The clever ones, the talkers, the boasters, they are the first to be bitten. But the quiet one, the underestimated one, walks among serpents without fear, because he carries no scent of threat. The others reveal their teeth to him, believing him harmless, and when the time comes, he strikes, not in noise, but in precision. Even in your daily life, this law governs the invisible hierarchy of men. In the workplace, the one who constantly reminds others of his brilliance becomes resented. The one who observes quietly, appearing modest, even nerveux, he becomes trusted. And trust, when held by the underestimated, turns into quiet control. People bring him information, confessions, alliances, unaware that they are giving him leverage. They believe they are using him, when in truth, he is using their belief. Do not mistake underestimation for weakness. It is a disguise, a mask crafted from humility and silence. Every fool has a tongue, but only the wise have restraint. The moment you learn to silence your need for recognition, you begin to hear what others cannot. You begin to see what others hide. You move unseen, untouched, unsuspected. And in this invisible realm, true power is born. When you allow others to think less of you, you control the game without even playing it. You hold the power of timing, the advantage of surprise. For what man expects the fool to strike with precision? What army fears the harmless? None, and that is exactly why they fall. There is a certain arrogance in the heart of the intelligent man, a desire, no, a need, to be seen, to be acknowledged as superior. It begins with a spark of pride and ends in destruction. For the man who cannot hide his wit, who cannot restrain his clever tongue, becomes the enemy of those who fear him, the rival of those who envy him, and the target of those who rule him. This is the danger of displaying too much wit. When you shine too brightly, you force others into your shadow. And men, especially men of power, hate the shadow. They despise the reminder that someone stands above them in thought, in strategy, in perception. They will smile at you, yes, but behind that smile lies the silent oath to dim your light. The clever man rarely dies of stupidity. He dies of envy, and envy is the most patient assassin in all of politics and life. I have seen men undone not by their enemies, but by their own brilliance. The advisor who corrects the prince too often becomes his threat. The soldier who devises a plan better than his generals becomes a liability. The worker who improves too quickly earns not praise, but suspicion. The scholar who speaks too confidently breeds resentment among lesser minds. The world, my friend, does not reward open genius. It punishes it. For when you reveal too much of your mind, you declare yourself dangerous to those who depend on ignorance for their power. There is a strange law in human nature. People admire intelligence from a distance, but they despise it up close. From afar, it inspires them. Up close, it humiliates them. Your wit becomes a mirror reflecting their inadequacy. And no man enjoys staring into the truth of his own inferiority. So, what do? They attack, but not always with sword or word. Sometimes with silence, with exclusion, with whispers. They push you out softly, quietly, until your brilliance becomes a memory. Understand this. Intelligence is power, but visible intelligence is provocation. The moment you expose your cleverness without purpose, you alert the world to your strength. And the world, being ruled by the insecure, will move to contain you. Those above you will fear replacement. Those beside you will plot to surpass you. Those below you will mock what they do not understand. You will find yourself surrounded not by admiration, but by opposition disguised as friendship. I once knew a man who could read people like an open book. In every discussion, he was right. Every debate, he triumphed. He could not bear to let others be mistaken, even in trivial matters. He corrected everyone, every time. And though his knowledge was unmatched, his isolation grew. One by one, his companions turned away, not because they doubted him, but because they could not stand the constant reminder that he was right and they were not. In the end, he stood alone, brilliant and despised. He won every argument and lost every ally. So, if you are wise, conceal your wit beneath layers of calm humility. Speak less than you know. Pretend confusion when it serves you. Let others have their moment of victory, even if it is built on error. It costs you nothing to let a fool believe he has won a debate. but it can cost you everything to prove him wrong in front of an audience. The clever man seeks truth. The cunning man seeks control. Learn to choose which one matters more. When you show too much wit, you disturb the fragile balance of pride in others. The prince who feels outshined by his advisor will sooner remove him than reward him. The friend who feels constantly outsmarted will turn cold. The colleague who feels inferior will look for your flaws. The lover who feels outthought will look for your weakness. You must understand, people crave superiority. Even those who admire intelligence secretly wish to be the smarter one in the room. Allow them that illusion. It costs you nothing, and it keeps you safe. There is an art to restraint. To know when to speak and when to stay silent. To know when to reveal a piece of your mind and when to let ignorance play its role. Every time you display wit, ask yourself, does this strengthen my position or simply feed my vanity? The most dangerous kind of intelligence is not the one that speaks. It's the one that observes. The loud genius burns quickly. The silent one rules for decades. Many of history's greatest thinkers fell not because they were wrong, but because they were right too soon and too loudly. Truth has a price, and that price is often the tolerance of those who cannot bear to hear it. The crowd, the court, the council, they do not want wisdom, they want comfort. If your words disturb their illusion, you become the enemy of their peace, and a man who threatens peace, no matter how wise, is marked for removal. Power fears intellect it cannot control. This is why the prince favors the obedient fool over the disobedient genius. The fool obeys without question. The genius questions every order. The fool can be predicted. The genius cannot. And unpredictability is the one thing power cannot tolerate. So if you must serve power, serve with a smile and a mask. Let them think you less than you are, for the man who hides his sharpness survives longer than the one who flaunts it. Do not mistake silence for submission. The silent man gathers knowledge. He studies, he adapts, he bides his time. While others spend their energy proving they are clever, he spends his energy preparing for when cleverness truly matters. He waits until words can move armies, until silence can move men. That is the difference between the wise and the witty. The witty man needs an audience. The wise man needs only an opportunity. Every man wears a mask. Some do it to hide fear, others to hide weakness. But the wise man, he wears his mask to hide power. The fool thinks his strength lies in being understood. The strategist knows his strength lies in being misunderstood. This is the art of strategic disguise. To conceal your intentions, your intelligence, even your emotions until the moment they serve your design. People think deception is an act of lies. It is not. It is an act of patience. To disguise yourself is not to abandon who you are. It is to choose which part of yourself the world deserves to see. When you enter a room, you must know every man in it is calculating something. They are weighing your posture, your tone, your eyes, your silence. So what do? You give them something to miscalculate. You give them a version of yourself that disarms them. They see the harmless, the humble, the distracted. Meanwhile, behind the curtain of that mask, your real mind is awake, sharp, and waiting. Do not reveal the depth of your understanding. Speak simply. Ask questions you already know the answers to, and allow others the illusion of teaching you. Men love to instruct those they consider ignorant. Let them believe they are your mentors, your superiors, your saviors. In reality, they are giving you their knowledge, their motives, their strategies. A false pupil learns more than a proud teacher ever could. And in time, when your mask of ignorance falls away, you will have already taken everything they meant to guard. The greatest generals, the most cunning princes, have all mastered this craft. They appear ordinary, even foolish, until the moment of decision. Then suddenly, their brilliance strikes like lightning from a cloudless sky. Because by the time the world realizes your depth, it is already too late to stop you. To underestimate you was their first mistake. To reveal their plans before you was their second. You see, your disguise is not merely protection. It is preparation. The art of disguise requires restraint, discipline, and understanding of human pride. People believe what flatters them. If you act inferior, they feel superior. If they feel superior, they trust you. And trust, once given, becomes a weapon in the right hands. You must not only act the fool, you must feel the role, inhabit it fully. You must become so convincing in your simplicity that even the wise are deceived. A man pretending to be stupid but trying to look clever will always be caught. But a clever man who accepts humiliation with grace, that is the most dangerous actor of all. Every court, every company, every circle of influence is filled with performers, each wearing a mask to survive. But few master the art of wearing it willingly. You must learn to make your disguise your greatest ally. When others fight for attention, withdraw into quiet. When they boast of plans, smile and nod. When they reveal ambition, pretend not to notice. The fool rushes to be seen. The strategist waits to be remembered. Your silence becomes your camouflage. Your restraint becomes your fortress. There is beauty in the invisible hand that moves everything but is seen by none. That is the true essence of disguise. Not merely to hide, but to control from the shadows. The world fears what it cannot read, what it cannot predict. So when you master the art of appearing ordinary, you become extraordinary in secret. The crowd may mock you, your rivals may laugh, but you are building something greater than their approval. You are building inevitability. Do not be eager to reveal your plans. Speak as if you have none. Let others believe you drift, that you lack focus, that your thoughts are simple. Behind that veil, construct your empire brick by brick. The moment you unveil your true strength, it will appear as if it came from nowhere, and nothing terrifies the powerful more than a threat they never saw coming. Deception is not betrayal when it serves survival. The world is not ruled by honesty. It is ruled by perception. The one who can control how he is perceived can control how others act around him. When they believe you incapable, they lower their defenses. When they believe you harmless, they stop protecting what matters most. And when they stop protecting, you strike. Not with noise, but with precision, as a snake that has waited in silence for the perfect heartbeat. Even your emotions must wear disguises. Do not show anger, even when you are wronged. Do not show joy, even when you win. Emotion exposes your thinking, and your thinking exposes your strategy. Let your face be still, your words few, your reactions delayed. Let others exhaust themselves trying to interpret you, to provoke you, to read what cannot be read. The moment they cannot understand you, they begin to fear you. And fear, even without action, gives you power. Every time you disguise your intentions, you shift the balance of control. The loud man is easy to anticipate. The predictable man is easy to defeat, but the man who wears masks, he cannot be measured, and therefore, he cannot be managed. To disguise your intellect is not cowardice, it is control. You decide who sees what. You decide when to reveal, when to conceal, and when to strike. The fool reacts. The strategist directs reaction. Remember this. Your mask should not only fool others, it should protect you from yourself. Pride will urge you to reveal your brilliance, to claim your victory, to speak your mind. Resist it. The moment you lift your disguise out of vanity, you surrender the power it gave you. The art of strategic disguise demands silence, patience, and endurance. It is not a single act. It is a way of moving through the world unseen, untouched, and unstoppable. Patience is the weapon of the invisible. The loud and the restless rush toward glory, and in their haste they stumble. The wise, however, wait. They observe, they measure, they let time sharpen their advantage. In the game of power, those who act too soon often destroy themselves, while those who wait long enough turn every obstacle into a stepping stone. Victory does not belong to the strong or the clever. It belongs to the patient. Patience is not inaction. It is the art of timing. It is the ability to see beyond the moment, to restrain your hand when your heart demands movement. The impatient man fights every battle that appears before him. The patient one fights only the battles that matter. And that is why he wins. When you learn to control your impulses, to master your need for recognition, you stop reacting to the world, and start shaping it. Understand this: people reveal themselves over time. Given enough days, enough words, enough comfort, they show you their ambitions, their fears, their loyalties. The impatient man never sees this. He rushes to trust, to strike, to speak. The patient man waits, lets others write their own confession with their actions. The longer you remain still, the more the world unveils its secrets. Patience is not merely endurance. It is observation turned into strategy. The fools mock the slow, but the slow outlast the fools. Every great manipulator, every enduring ruler, every hidden victor has known the value of waiting. The wolf does not chase every deer he sees. He studies the herd, the wind, the terrain. He knows the right moment to pounce. A single strike, perfectly timed, achieves what 100 reckless chases never could. The same law rules in politics, in business, in love, and in war. You gain nothing by acting quickly if your timing is wrong. Impatience is the favorite weapon of your enemies. They will provoke you, tempt you, make you believe that movement is strength. But strength lies in stillness. The man who cannot wait reveals his weakness, his hunger, his lack of discipline. He exposes his plan, his emotion, his vulnerability. And once exposed, he can be controlled. The patient man, on the other hand, is unreadable. He frustrates his enemies because he gives them nothing. They attack shadows and exhaust themselves in the dark. Patience creates fear in others because it signals control. When you do not react, people start to question what you are thinking. When you do not rush, they begin to doubt their own decisions. Silence becomes your sword. Time your shield. Let others drown in their urgency. You, meanwhile, gather information, form alliances, prepare your moment. When you finally move, it will seem sudden to them, but you will know it was inevitable. I have watched many men fall because they mistook movement for progress. They believed victory came to those who acted first. But power is not a race. It is a rhythm. You must move only when the world cannot resist your movement. Like the tide, withdraw until your strength gathers, then return with force that none can oppose. Every impatient gesture, every reckless word, every unnecessary fight, these are taxes the foolish pay to time. The wise pay nothing until the price is right. There is another virtue hidden in patience, the ability to see clearly. When emotion rules, the mind clouds. Anger demands revenge, pride demands recognition, greed demands action. All of these are traps. The patient man delays his judgment until his emotions quiet, until the world reveals more of its truth. And in that delay, he makes decisions that others will call genius, though they are nothing more than the product of waiting until others made mistakes. And every human affair, there comes a moment when all others are tired of waiting, tired of pretending, tired of holding their masks. That is the moment you strike, not before. To act when everyone else is restless is to act when they are weakest. Patience is not passive, it is predatory. You are not waiting because you are unsure. You are waiting because the world is not yet ready for your certainty. People will call you slow. Let them. They will mistake your silence for hesitation, your calm for indecision. That is how you know your disguise is working. While they burn their energy chasing every spark, you are saving yours for the fire that matters. Patience makes you invisible until you choose to appear. And when you appear, it is already too late for them to react. Time is the great equalizer. The impatient man spends it, the patient man invests it. Each day you wait with purpose, you accumulate invisible power, knowledge, insight, leverage. You start to see the patterns others miss. You begin to anticipate before they act. And soon, the future bends toward you because you have mastered what others fear most: delay. The world belongs to those who can wait without losing focus. Remember, the fool confuses motion with achievement. He runs everywhere, chasing opportunities, burning bridges, wasting energy. The wise man stays still long enough to let opportunity come to him. He prepares his ground so well that when the moment finally arrives, it feels effortless. But what looks effortless is only the result of years of invisible patience. The world sees the victory. It never sees the waiting that built it. patience is not a virtue for the weak. It is the discipline of those who intend to rule, to wait without despair, to act without haste, to endure without revealing hunger, that is the highest form of power. Because in every game of ambition, time is the one resource everyone wastes, but few understand. And when you understand it, when you learn to let others run ahead, while you quietly move the pieces behind them, you begin to see the truth. It is not brilliance that conquers the world. It is endurance. So now you understand the game, don't you? The world does not reward the one who shouts his brilliance. It rewards the one who hides it, shapes it, and uses it with precision. The man who plays the fool survives. The man who hides his wit thrives. The man who waits wins. Every act of power begins in silence. To be underestimated is to be unseen, and to be unseen is to be free. When others show their pride, you will show humility. When they rush to prove themselves, you will observe. When they demand recognition, you will give them ignorance. And all the while, behind the mask of your simplicity, you will gather strength that no one suspects. Understand this: the world fears what it cannot read. Let them call you naive. Let them believe you harmless. Let them laugh. Each laugh is a step you gain, each doubt a weapon they hand you. Because when the time comes to reveal what you truly are, it will be too late for them to stop you. The fool they mocked will become the master they serve. You must never crave attention. You must crave results. Do not waste your brilliance trying to impress the blind. Let your silence speak. Let your patience build. Let your disguise protect. The wise man's power is not in what he shows. It is in what he hides. The true genius never needs to prove he is clever. He only needs to appear harmless long enough to become inevitable. So play dumb, if you must. Let the clever talk. Let the proud compete. You, stay silent, stay watchful, stay still. Because the world will always serve those who move in shadows while others dance in the light. Remember this, and you will understand what few ever do. Power is not taken by the loud or the bold. It is taken by the patient, the hidden, and the underestimated.